Hello, welcome back to Ogie Farm. Haven't done a video for a couple of weeks. It's been really busy and I broke a tripod, so I've been meaning to get around to get a new tripod. So this is all being done, old school selfie mode, so I hope that's okay. So just a quick video. It's June, late June, and the garden's in full swing, harvesting lots of things. Today I've been doing some general tidying up, replacing some of the older plants we just spent with newer, and a bit of harvesting as well. So today we're doing spring onions and broad beans as well, harvesting the two crops entirely. So just a quick video. There we are. I'm going to try and position the camera right there at the base of the spring onion plant, just to show how we harvest them. Now, we like to practice no dig techniques here, so whenever possible we want to minimize. Hang on, let's get a better angle. There we go. There we are. Let's try and get that angle right. Okay. So, traditionally, if you were growing spring onions, you just yank them out of the ground. You get the whole root ball out in a lot of the soil. But what we find works better is a sharp knife or a pair of scissors, whatever it might be. Scrape back a little bit of the very top layer of compost around the roots so you can get better access. Insert your knife and just slice below the bulbs there. Now it's easier with two hands. As I said, it'd be nice if I had a tripod, because I'm trying to do this with one so I can hold the camera. But you can see the basic sort of method. And you come away with this really nice clump of spring onions, and you leave a huge root mass, established root mass, in the soil to decompose and feed the soil. So we're going to be harvesting this whole bed. It's done really well this year, despite a little bit of a dry spell there, which I feared might have knocked it back a little bit. You might be wondering, how do we know that it's ready to harvest? Well, I mean, spring onions are really forgiving. You can just harvest them as and when you like, pretty much. They're handy to use when they're really small, and this is about as big as they'll get, really. Some really big fat spring onion bulbs, which is how I tend to prefer them, really. Maybe it's just kind of lazy and I like leaving them in the ground a bit longer, I don't know. But what you want to be looking at is the stems of the plant. Wait until they hollow out, till they start to firm up, and you can see a little bit of discoloration along at the very tips. Sort of suggests that the plant is reaching the end of its life cycle and may be ready to flower soon. We're in no danger of this happening. I could leave these here for another week and I'm sure they'd be fine, but we've got swede going into this spot, and they're ready to come out of the plugs. So time to make space, and these are ready to harvest. That's about it really with the spring onions. Really nice, easy veg to grow. Super low maintenance, quite productive, nice to cook with. We've got chickens and spring onions and scrambled egg sandwich. Lovely. So these are our broad beans. This variety is called the Sutton. As you can see, it's a very short plant. What is it, about half a metre tall, I think, max. Since we're in quite an exposed site here, and the wind hits the garden quite powerfully sometimes, we tend to go for shorter varieties of things like broad beans and runner beans, sweet peas when we can help it. Just makes it less of a bother trying to tie them up with really strong supports and protect them from that wind. But as you can see, quite a prolific variety. Really nice big broad beans there. Let's just pick one of those and take a look. There you go. There's the broad bean. Look at the size of those. And if you look at how many pods are on these plants, hidden amongst the mass. And we've done very little maintenance on these, really. Just general watering through the dry spell, predominantly. You can see they're very, very productive. And these will keep producing now until the end of next month, July, August, I think. That's around about the time we'll be taking it out. We've got our leeks here. The top row just never took off. First year growing leeks in this spot. Got the leeks above the spring onions. But the rest are doing okay. They're doing fine. I think I'm just going to remove these 3 because, yeah, for whatever reason, this ground is obviously particularly lacking in nutrients at the top. We'll need more remediation. Our onions and some very small Swede seedlings there below, which had a bit of a knockback from the dry spell. We've got our broccoli, which have pretty much outgrown the insect mesh, as you can see. They had a growth spurt with the sun and then subsequent rain. So I'm going to have to pull these tunnels off and put some big ones in place tomorrow, actually. Then we've got French beans over there. And Tokyo Cross turnips, one of my favourites if you've seen my previous videos. This is the second crop Tokyo Cross that we're growing in this spot. The first one was highly productive, really low maintenance crop. Potatoes at the bottom, 2 varieties. We've got the Setanta main crop variety in Charlotte, which is more of a salad variety. And coming on over here, we had a bit of a transition period really, because we removed the lettuce had bolted. So we've removed the lettuce. These are cornflowers. I grew a lot of them for the garden, and we just got this big surplus of cornflowers. Didn't know what to do with them. So I've popped them into this bed because we didn't have veg that I wanted to put in immediately. And we've got asparagus seedlings that I'm going to plant in the middle into plant. So the cornflowers can, give us some aesthetic beauty and some help for our pollinators this year, while the asparagus get settled in the middle. We've got cabbage seedlings in this bed, as you can see, just very small, just getting established. Went in a couple of days ago. Potatoes in this bed, nothing to see there. We've got our cut and come again salad. These are Lollo Rosso seedlings. As you can see, some of them are multi-sown, which I'm going to thin when this video's over, actually. They've done really well, despite the drought, and we had 35-degree temperatures for about 2 or 3 days, which was rough, but they've made their way through that well. That's why I haven't thinned them, because I wasn't sure if we were going to lose the odd one, and I didn't want to have blank spots. And then we've got more Lollo Rosso then. So those are 2-week-old seedlings, and these are Lollo Rosso seedlings I've just put in this afternoon. So we harvest them on a rotation then. Moving on to the next bed, we've got our courgette plant, which as expected, racing away really. Such an easy plant to grow. So productive, so prolific. You don't have too many, if anything. They're doing great. I think that variety was Defender, if I'm right in remembering. I think it was Defender courgette. Now these are our patty pans. This yellow patty pan. They're doing well. Now I'm going to be harvesting these when they're about palm sized, so another 2 weeks I think till we start harvesting those. They're doing really well. I had a bit of a glut. I planted more than I actually wanted. Just thought I'd chuck them in really. And then the pumpkin area is a little bit messy. Our pumpkin plants have struggled. As I say, it's the first year on this particular ground, and I knew the fertility was going to be poor, but I didn't know exactly what spots were going to be problematic. And definitely starting to pick up what spots need more work than others, and the pumpkin area is one of them. So that's it really. Just a quick one to mainly just look at harvesting spring onions with a knife as opposed to pulling them. which is sort of key to no dig, building up the soil, leaving that root mass in the ground to break down and feed the soil, slowly building up over the seasons then. And a little look around the garden, in a transitionary spot, so hoping we're going to be looking a bit more full in another week or so. And I'll try to get around to making a new video, maybe get a tripod and try and fix this phone. I don't know. Anyway, hope everyone's having a good year. Thanks for watching, and see you again.